All right, and we're back with the next figure in the Dark Energon wave. For this video, we're going to be looking at the Cobra Mole Rat from the G.I. Joe Classified series. So let's get right into it and talk about the packaging. So as is typical with the windowless packaging, we've got some really awesome diorama shots that I think capture the essence of the figure, whatever that is. He's a brand new figure, and just off top, I want to say he reminds me of sort of like a 3-in-1. There's components of him that remind me of the Hazard Viper from the Pursuit of Cobra series. There's components of him that remind me of the Zombie Viper from the 30th anniversary series. And lastly, the color palette on him is very reminiscent of the Cobra Renegades Trooper. I don't know why, but I think about those three figures when I look at this guy. So anyway, as is typical, you see he comes with a bunch of gear, bunch of accessories. The artwork on this is, it kind of strikes me as terrifying, because what happens when you have prolonged exposure to raw Cybertronian ore? Well, I guess this happens. You sprout crystals from your freaking head. Your teeth crack, and you obviously become something of your former self, because his eye is glowing with that radioactive aura. Turning the figure around once again, the height scale 6.3 inches, which I'm guessing is like 6'3" in real life. I don't know. You get another shot of the loadout. You get a couple close-ups of the head sculpt, the gas masked head, and this thing looks great. It looks really, really awesome. You see there they've got some sculpted detail with the vents. You see the hose coming out from the front that plugs into the front of the figure. Turning it around, you've got this sort of, I guess, hazmat suit underneath it, and again, the color reminds me of the Hazard Viper. It really does. Truly. The red paint that is on the eyes looks really, really good. It's applied in such a manner where it doesn't pop out more than you would want it to. It's got sort of this, what's the word I'm thinking about? Like this recessed vibe going on, where you really feel like the guy's in there. So that's the first head sculpt. Second head sculpt is the zombified head. And holy moly, this thing looks repulsive. It looks disgusting. It looks awesome. You see kind of the weathering around the face, where you kind of, it almost looks like he's got dark energon pigmenting as part of his skin now. You see the energon growth coming out the side of his head, and it almost makes you question, how safe are those hazmat suits? Are they leaky suits? I don't know. Let me see how much closer I can get in here without my camera freaking out, because I want to show if I can. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Look at the detail there. The energon showing through the eyes. Again, the pigmentation. Look at that nasty snarl. Like, would you want to get bit by this guy? Probably not. Probably not. Who knows what he's carrying in his system at this point. All right, so moving on to the backpack. This looks great. This looks really good. The only criticism that I have about this is you got all this great sculpt work in here, and not one drop of paint on it to kind of break that up, which, I mean, I guess it's fine, but man, you want to talk about missed opportunity. That is the missed opportunity. Also, should be noted, it's got this little clip here, and I think it's to clip on the Energon lantern or the Energon radiation level detector. I'm guessing that's what this is. There's no official word on what all this stuff is. So yeah, so just note that notch right there. All right. Up next, we've got the old Energon lantern, and this looks good. This looks good. You see here, there's some, I guess, Energon crystallization going on in there. I really don't know. It almost looks like on the front of the packaging, he's holding this up to kind of help light the way. So I'm just going to assume it's some sort of lantern with a paint application there. All right, up next, we've got the Energon level detector, and you know, again, just a handheld unit. You've got this great detail sculpted in here, like those buttons and everything. And again, not one drop of paint to bring this unit alive, which is just, I don't know, it's weird. Weird choice here. Okay, so let's talk about this. So this piece separates. So he's got this handheld modular piece. Again, great sculpt work, great line work, great details, everything. Again, just a missed opportunity by not having a couple paint applications. So it doubles as you can attach the machine gun end to it, and then it becomes a lethal weapon. Shout outs to Mel Gibson and Danny Glover on that one. Or you can attach the drill bit, and now it becomes a miner's instrument. And the metallic finish on this looks great. It really does. It really does. See, this is where they, I don't know if they just ran out of budget or what and just said give the drill a finish, but I mean, look at the difference that makes. What a difference. So again, just, you know, the extra paint application really goes a long way. Should be noted, mine does also suffer from the weapon gumminization. Yes, I just made that word up. So just roll with me here, all right? Also noted, the barrel is compatible with the blast effects. That's it for the loadout. We'll come right back and get into the actual figure. Okay, so let's get in here real quick and start talking shop. The head sculpt, again, both of them look great. They really do. This is an example of where they were very generous with the paint applications, and this is what I mean. You've got this blue pale skin. You've got this black accent for the side of the helmet. Then we transition to this like orangish brown color. You've got the purple on there, the wash over the Energon, the purple in the eye, the purple around the lips, the off-white for the teeth, the orange patchwork, the black, whatever this is, on the suit. And then you have these these gauges here that are displaying something. I don't know what that's doing. Then you have, you know, the blacks, the blues. You've got the Cobra signal tampoed on there, and that looks great. You've got the transition from blue to orange, back to blue. The black gloves. Like, this guy looks really good. And then you turn it around, and then more of that orangish color. You see here they were, again, generous with the paint applications. And this makes a figure really stand out. I mean, truly, truly stand out. Moving down, though, you know, you've got the standard blue, I guess, for the legs, no paint, and then you've got the orange again at the top of the boot. And again, it looks really good. And this is a really difficult color to work with, and considering that, they applied it pretty clean. I mean, there's some bleed in for the joints and whatnot, but when you're working with orange, it's one of those difficult colors to work with. So yeah, I mean, he looks really, really good from a paint application standpoint. So I guess with that out the way, we can jump right into the articulation. So the head is on your typical double ball joint. Once again, I'm not sure what's going on with the figures. I don't know if it's because the collar is up too high, but it's almost like that neck joint does not want to give way to any movement. The only thing I'm seeing move here is the head. You get a little bit of movement on the neck joint, but not as much as we would like, and perhaps that's because of the collar here. All right, so the joints here on this guy, once again, they feel really good. Really good. I don't feel like I'm going to snap or break anything off this. So it looks, or it feels, I should say, really good. Really good. This articulation is impeded because of the pouches being sculpted here, and that's, I mean, nothing you can do about that. But again, the elbow joint works like how you would expect it to. He's got this typical, you know, upper arm bicep swivel, the wrist swivel, and then let's get in here and look at the disc hinges here. So on this one, Yep, it looks like he's got a vertical here, which you get a little bit down, not much up. And again, that's just because of how the collar or the cuff is sculpted right there. And then, is this one also a vertical? Yes, this is also a vertical disc hinge as well. So no horizontal action, and that's okay. The joints on this guy, the hip joints feel really good. Really, really good. Again, I don't feel like it's fighting me. I don't feel like I'm going to break anything, which is always a plus. Always a plus. The knee joint, really good. Ankle joint, really good. Upper leg swivel, really good. Boot swivel, fantastic. Ankle, I guess tilt is what you would expect. So yeah, overall, this guy is, the articulation on this guy is on point. On point, zero complaints. This again mirrors the Range Viper. They're getting the joints in that sweet spot. So that's what I'm going to call it, the joint sweet spot, where I don't feel like it's fighting me and I don't feel like I'm going to break anything, which is good. This is how it should be. Hopefully this is how it is going forward on all the other releases. So with that, we'll get them geared up, take a look at them, and do some comparisons. Real quick, in the spirit of keeping ourselves accountable, let's look at where he clocks in at. So once again, it appears as though the scaling on the back of the box lines up. And y'all thought I was going to forget my old trusty tape measure, didn't y'all? Okay, that's all I wanted to get out of the way. We'll come back and do some comparisons here in a sec. All right, as promised, here are some side-by-side comparisons of some of the figures that I thought this guy reminded me of. So let's look at the Zombie Viper real quick. And this is, by the way, this is probably one of my favorite all-time figures to ever come out for any G.I. Joe line. Okay, so note the head. Note the head. Some similarities, but this guy, the story was Compound Z. Cobra was manufacturing it. And these guys, which I might have to retract my statement about, maybe this is a Lantern, maybe this is extracted Energon, but the Hazard Viper also came with these Compound Z canisters that Cobra was manufacturing. All right, so again, not sure if it's a Lantern or if it's extracted Energon that we're dealing with. So bringing these two guys up close, you clearly you see there is a throwback. Okay, you can see it. It's almost the same head, one for one, except this looks like a more airtight suit than this. So yeah, that's what they look like together. This was also this was probably one of the most underrated figures until the Zombie Viper came out, by the way. And then those things were really hard to get because everybody wanted them. All right, that being said, I'll be right back and we'll do some side-by-sides with some more classified figures. All right, here he is with a couple other classified figures. Not sure if Tunnel Rat knows it or not, but I'm pretty sure he's about to find himself in trouble. So this looks really good, though. I really like the way that it looks. This figure, again, he's going to stand out on a shelf. He's going to pop. I love that they're incorporating elements of the extreme sci-fi areas of G.I. Joe, meaning you've got this pseudo zombie guy who was exposed to an alien element and paid the price. And he's standing next to the Crimson Viper, who is more than likely going to be sent in to deal with him if and when he mutates. Cobra really should run some more QC on the integrity of these suits to ensure they're not wasting human capital. With that being said, we'll be right back and get into our parting thoughts. All right, closing thoughts. I think he is a really awesome figure. It's good to see them moving in the direction more of like the science fiction sort of horror elements that G.I. Joe tried to explore. And this isn't the first time they tried to do it. Back in the 90s, they had the Mega Marines, and then they tried to introduce a bio-monster wave that consisted of Monstro Viper and Bio Viper, and those things were pretty terrifying. They did it again when they ran the 2014 Joe Club exclusive set, and they took the Compound Z story to the next level. They reintroduced the Eco Warriors. They had a few more Cobra Scientist characters. They brought back the Sludge Vipers, the Toxo Vipers, and even the Toxo Zombies. And they had a three-piece Steel Brigade set that they had as zombies. So this isn't their first time dabbling in sort of the zombie horror-esque genre, I guess. So really cool to see. I can dig it all day long. No pun intended. And I'm interested to see where it goes. So yeah, if you see this figure, I would definitely recommend grabbing at least one because again, it feels good. The joints are properly toleranced. The only, I guess, negative that I would have to say about this is this once again suffers from this weapon gumminization. That's what we're gonna coin that. Where for whatever reason the weapons are coming off the sprues or off the assembly line warped. So they need to fix that. Other than that, solid offering, rock solid offering. I'd say 8.5 out of 10, hands down all day. So appreciate y'all tuning in. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. We've got more videos on the way, and we'll catch y'all on the flip side. Thanks for tuning in. Take care, everybody.